So when it comes to you like to make your own decisions. But judging by this article today, well, it looks like someone else is going to make that decision for you. Because as you can see on screen, right, it says that Tesco's new limit rule could affect how much food you can buy. And just quickly, if you do go on to learn something new in this video, then make sure that you subscribe and help me get to 67,000 subscribers. But like I said, limiting how much food you can buy, that's exactly as it sounds. That is quite literally Tesco deciding how much food you're allowed to own. And if we scroll down, right, because it's throughout this video, it's just going to get worse and worse. I have a feeling there's going to be quite a few comments on this one. But it says that Tesco customers might find themselves unable to purchase everything on their shopping list due to a new rule that you might not know about. And what got me about this one, right, is that I don't think this decision came from Tesco. You know, something tells me that it come from just a little bit higher up than them. Because what you got to think, right, is Tesco sell items. You know, they're in the items selling business. They make their money from selling you items. It is just, it's not good business sense to limit how many items people can buy. Do you know what I mean? So I make a video every single day. On this channel, that's 7 videos a week. 1 every single day at 7 AM. Now, would it be good business sense, right? If I said to you guys, you can only watch 1 video of mine per week. You know, if I put a limit on how many videos you can watch. Rather than watching all 7, you have to try and pick and choose which one you are going to watch. And truth be told, that's terrible business sense. And it's the same for Tesco. And like I said, that's why I believe that this decision did not come from Tesco. There's no way on earth that someone would allow this in a business. It's like, you could apply it to anything, limiting how many Xbox games you can buy, or limiting how much fuel you can put in your car, or limiting how much Sky TV you're able to watch. It would be terrible, terrible business sense. But apparently Tesco, one of the largest employers in the UK, and one of the largest shops in the UK, apparently, these are corporations where 1%, 2% or 3%, it all has an impact. You know? If they lose 1 or 2% of sales, that is horrific for Tesco. This is dark. There is some other reason as to why they're doing this. And it is absolutely dark. And another thing that you got to think about, right, is that let's say that they're going to say you can only buy 4 packs of meat. Or say 8 packs of crisps or something like that. From that one Tesco shop. Well, truth be told, I mean, you must admit, half of Tesco's runs on Clubcards these days. So when you've made the purchase for meat at one Tesco, and then you go to another Tesco, they're going to be able to see your purchases on your Clubcard. So even if the customer says, look, I'll meet you in the middle, Mr. Tesco, I'll spread it halfway. You know, I'll buy 4 packs from you over here, and I'll buy 4 packs in the next town up. Surely that's helping Tesco out. But no, apparently, the profit-leading company, apparently they just want limits. Which again, makes no sense. But what does make sense, right? When you think about it from this point of view, the point of view to do with rationing, you know, whether it's to do with our carbon footprint or digital ID, it really just feels as if we're being rationed on what we can buy. And as someone who is, I'm not going to lie, I'm a hoarder, right? I am an absolute hoarder. I will hold on. I don't like binning things, you know? I like buying things ahead of time, you know, like toilet roll, pasta, king skins, all the things that you're going to use on a regular basis, you know? It makes sense to buy them up front. And me personally, right, I get a lot of my inner peace knowing that I have the item at hand. You know, I don't like running out of stuff. I ran out of shampoo the other day, well, a couple of months ago. I swore to myself, never again. I was using fairy liquid, you imagine that? And like I said, when it comes to Tesco, I'm probably going to lose the ability, same with yourself, we're probably going to lose the ability to stock up. Because you must admit, let's say that it's 4 items now or 8 items. Sooner or later, it's going to get reduced. The items are going to become smaller. So instead of 300 grams, we only get 200 grams. And instead of 4 packs, well, maybe now that we can only order 3. So it's just, little by little, they're going to reduce how much we can get, which is going to reduce how much you can stock up. And in turn, it's going to reduce how much you have control over your life. Because what I will say, right, and I've got to leave for work soon, so this will be my final point. But what I will say, right, who is Tesco to tell you what you need? They've never met you. The CEO of Tesco, he doesn't know who you are. And like I said, he's never met you. So for the CEO of Tesco to say, come on, you don't need all that cheese. What are you going to do with all that cheese? Just get out of my face, mate. Let me buy my cheese, That's what we should tell them. They're going to try and tell you how much you can buy. But they don't know your personal circumstances. They don't know anything about you. But they're going to make this massive decision. Nah. On behalf of Britain, I'll tell you what, let me stand back for this one. Tesco, I love you, but you can absolutely swivel. Tell me how much to buy. Sound like my ex-girlfriend.
This country has gone crazy.